If you've been following this journey, my brother died in October. Went down to Georgia, filled up my some stuff with Willem and cleaned up, and and then filled my car with my mother's clothes and some small end tables, tall, narrow tables. They're quite old. And then I came back, and we had Thanksgiving with my sister here. She had been in Georgia and had gone back to California, and then we both came to Canada. And so we had Thanksgiving here. We have it in October. And then after Thanksgiving, I went down. I guess we went to Connecticut, right? After Thanksgiving in Canada, we all went to Connecticut. Cynthia went back to San Francisco, and then she went to Connecticut, and Ashley and all came up from Georgia. And anyway, so we all went to Connecticut. And then, sorry, you don't have any energy. You don't eat very well, do you? I mean, you should have more energy than that. What do they feed you anyway? Electricity. Well, I don't know about that. Anyway, so in November, so that's right. So October was Georgia, Canada, and then November, no, Georgia, October. Yeah, he died on the 3rd of October. I drove down a week later or something. No, the next day. Yeah, I drove down the next day. And then I came back with a carload of stuff with Willem. We both went down. We came back together and we unloaded that stuff, and then we went to Connecticut. We met them from Georgia and Cynthia from California. So we all went to Connecticut in October. I think it was around the 20th or something. I left out that we came home. We all came to Canada. And then, Cynthia came, and I came, and Willem came in, so we got that ready, and we did Thanksgiving. Then Cynthia went home. Then they came from Georgia and California, and we came from here. We met in Connecticut for the memorial, which was in late October. And then we came back home, and everybody went back home. And I was burnt out. So November I didn't do anything. Yeah, pretty well. So then, December came around. Oh, we got a big snowstorm in November, didn't we? Yeah, that really shut life down. It went really bitter cold. So that just changed any ideas of going anywhere for a while. And then, so in December, this is really something to have to, my executive memory is not, executive function is not what it was. It would help if I used pencil and paper. Okay, so here we go. So then in December, it appeared that I needed to go back down. So I went back down to search for pictures and things, because I knew my house was full and nobody would want me to bring anything back. And so I thought, so I went down with my car by myself, and I went through and I found lots of pictures. And I brought back some other furniture. What did I bring back? I don't know. Clothes? Pictures? I don't remember. Okay, so that was in December, and I had to be back before Christmas. So I was down there about a week. And I came back. Oh, I know what I came back with. I got a trailer. I hooked up the trailer to the car, and I filled it up. What did I take? Oh yes, I took all the furniture, all the tables. There's all these long pieces of furniture. I'll show you what I mean. And I brought them all back. Let's turn you around so you can see it. Okay, so I brought back my mother's desk. See? Let me turn on a light here, I guess. That's me when I was a little girl. That's me when I was a schoolgirl. Anyway, okay, so here is my mother's desk. And this desk was what her mother gave her when she went away to school. They were very poor. And then this other table here, have been unorganized here, haven't I? So it has these leaves, or not leaves, but these, where you can take it up and... This is my sister. These are copper items of Mom's. Mom and Dad's. I always say Mom because, it's just... My dad and my mom were married their whole lives. But, okay, so here, under this leaf, this is called a Duncan Fife table. You can't see it. Anyway, but it's got these pieces of metal, and so the ends come up, right? They're down, they come up. And then, what is another one? Oh, and then this one here. This is another one. What are you learning, Mandarin?
It's just a video about languages without verb tenses.
Okay, I'm going to turn this light on. How do I turn all these lights on?
Try the string.
What string? This string?
Yeah. You do the old trick again, pushing and tray string. Sometimes it helps.
There we go. Okay. I live in such a warm house. People say Canada is cold, but I was freezing in Georgia. It was very cold. So here we go. So it's got these nice kind of handles on it. Anyway, Duncan Fife, and it's got those skinny legs. Very tiny little legs. And then this kind, you see it. But it would help if they cleaned their house, eh? Anyway, so this has got, you can't see him. But anyway, the legs, two legs close together come down and then spread out. And then there's a bar across to another two that come down. So then see, this is where I'm weaving with cedar. Isn't that cool? I'm amazed. I'm really amazed. Anyway, okay, so there's those pieces, and then there's these chairs. Isn't that nice? Doesn't quite fit. And then there's this table. This is an old one too. And this chair with it. It's got the dictionary. The dictionary always lived on this table at my mother's front hallway. The kids have been playing here, I guess, eh?
Okay, I guess it's going to you've seen enough of this.
Okay, so now I'll show you this other furniture. So that's what I brought back in December. And I thought I was completely done. But then it appeared I had more time. I have to turn. Okay, you're working. Okay, so here we are in the kitchen. Okay? And I brought back my mother's microwave, which is much huger than mine. Anyway, and this is the dining room table. This table, see these legs? Well, whatever. This is an awesome table. I should move that thing. Let me turn it around. figure out how to get you to sit up. Sit up. Pay attention. That does not work, does it? Oh, let's open the doorway. There, okay, how's that? Let me just take all this stuff out. Okay, oops. Okay, now we can stand like that. Wait a minute, you turn around, don't stick your face in the napkin. Okay, there. Okay, let me get this tidied up in here. Okay. Okay, can you see it now? I'm turning around. Oh, I have to turn the light on first. Lights. Okay, so we have too many chairs on that side of the table. This was a table that my grandparents had, and they gave it to my parents when my parents got married. And so, this does not fit on that chair, but this one is for this big one. Indeed, so much bigger chairs for the head of the home. Father sits there. And this goes on this side. And this is definitely Fife, too. I think I could pull it a little more, pull into the corner just a little more like that. And it has 2 leaves. So right now, well, I'll show you the leaves. Where are they? Should be right here somewhere. There they are. This, I'll take you off of there and let you see it. Isn't that nice? And then that's the dining room, the china cabinet that goes to it. I have some clothes and things in it so it would protect the glass. So this bookcase here is going to go. I just couldn't move it at the moment. And then I brought this bookcase home from Mom. It's been in my life, my whole life. I'm not sure where it should go. I guess it could replace those things, or it's kind of tall. I'm not quite sure where it should be. You know, it could go over here against that wall. Get that out of there. Anyway, I'm not quite sure what to do with that yet. No, my mom died 3 years ago. And so my brother wouldn't let me take anything out of the house. I know, isn't it beautiful? So pretty. It's been, you know, in my house all my life. But then my brother died in October, and so he was kind of hoarding everything and wouldn't let anybody take anything away after my mom died. But so kind of nice, eh? This is gonna look so pretty with my china and my teacups in there. Oh, I brought back the most amazing teacups. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, you know, I really feel that I have done my mom, I have done a good thing for my mom. She really wanted the furniture to stay in the family. It was really important to her to have Mom's furniture, grandma's stuff. See, these are the leaves. See how big they are? So this little table, look at this table. Turn around. Look at this. Why is it so big? Can I not make it smaller? There we go. Okay, so look at those cushions. Isn't that nice? And they're really sturdy chairs. We were never allowed to lean on back on 2 feet. This is really beautiful furniture. I'm so impressed. I had no idea. They grew up with such really nice stuff. No idea. I mean, I never had stuff like this in my, you know, I wasn't about to. I think a china cabinet like that in Canada new would cost like $1,500 at least, maybe 2,000. I don't know what it costs down there, but anyway, so I never put money like that. And this set, this is really an excellent set of furniture. I mean, it's how old am I? I mean, I'm 64, and I'm sure that it's 64 years old. It's probably more than that. Well, it was made. They made these in the 50s, and I was born in 55. Or I think they started them in 45, and only the very wealthy would have had this kind of furniture, which of course I had no clue of when I grew up. I just thought it was our junky old furniture that was from my grandma. See this, the way they have it's got a big ball for a leg. It's hard to see with that other thing in the way. And then it opens up into three, which is also very hard to tell, which is anything straight is from a chair, and those three curved ones are from the leg. And then the other leg is just like it. See? It sticks out down here. That's the leg of the table, and I guess the other leg is over here. Anyway, it really, uh, um, it really changes the way my house feels. It's gone to being not an empty house or a house that's got stuff in it. It's gone to being a home. With the china cabinet and the dining room table. Really home. I don't know why. But I think you get so used to looking at the items in your house. Just you're sitting there and it's behind whoever you're talking to, right? Or you're reading a book and it's what you see when you put your head up. It is elegant. It's amazing. I had no idea. I was really born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I am a very privileged white person. I had no idea. I had no idea at all. My grandparents were very wealthy, I guess. But my grandmother got sick, and so she was in a home. So that was the end of all of her wealth. But she really had beautiful items. Look at this. This goes with a dresser. Look at that. Look at that mirror. Who has a mirror like that? I guess that thing above it needs to go. That mirror is also going to go to be with the dresser, which I have now brought back, and it's at Ben's. We went over there today and emptied it. And it's done. It's emptied. So in the morning before, it's going to freeze rain at 9, I think. And the place opens at 8:30. So if I leave here in time, I can go there and take the truck in, and all I have to do is drop it off and take my car off of the rack. Oh, I have to drive it to the gas station, fill it up. There was one place I got gas, and it was like 20 cents a gallon more than everywhere else. And instead of it taking $75 worth, it took $100 worth. I'm not used to that. I mean, I'm used to paying in the United States, my car, it's like $25 to fill it up. In Canada, it's 40. Okay, what did somebody just say? Do you have more trips to make to Georgia to get more stuff? No. So the end of what I was saying, I went back in December, and I came home with a trailer with those items that I just showed you. Then I thought they were going to have a sale, and then they were going to throw everything in the dumpster, and it was going to be gone. And so they got somebody in, or no, my church. They organized a crew, and they went in and they emptied half of the basement into the dumpster. And all of the books in the house, the upstairs books, which I had never said anything about, and it was, it was a known thing that people don't buy books at estate sales. But maybe on this side of Athens, it was all professors and stuff, so they would buy books. But anyway, so the books were gone, and half of what was in the basement was gone. And I had already gone through all the half of the basement before they threw that half out. I had gone through and I got all my grandmother's china. I have a whole huge cupboard of china now. And anyway, I had gone through half of the basement, but there's something about that house. I don't know what. I mean, it's just a house. I mean, my house here is full of life. I mean, this furniture really helps to bring all the memories of the lives. I mean, I look at this chair here. Let me turn it around. I look at this chair here, and that's my dad's chair. It's got arms on it, and there was a window behind it, and he would scoot it back a little bit, and he would sit there, cross his legs, and he'd read the paper. So the Atlanta Journal-Constitution was always on the corner, and then there were all the placemats on the table, and there was usually knives and forks left on the table that hadn't been used. People would clear off the dirty dishes, but not all the dishes. And then there would be some stuff in the middle, and that's the way it always was. And well, at first Cynthia sat there, and I sat there, and Charlie sat there, and Mom sat there, and she would get up and go to the kitchen. Um, and then something happened, and Cynthia was on the other side. And no, I don't know. It seems like I was on this side by myself for a while. But usually, yeah, that's weird. This is wrong. Yeah. Cynthia and I sat beside each other for a while, but she's left-handed. So she had to have her elbow out on this side. And so we sat like that. But then the china cabinet was here behind us. And so I ended up being moved to that side of the table. So I sat there beside Charles, and Cynthia sat on this side. I sat on that side. I don't know where Charles was. There's a ledge under the table that these legs are attached to a board that goes under the table. And you can put your hand up on that board. You can put things on there. And so, if there was some food that somebody was making you eat and you didn't want to, if you were sly, you could get it down to the plate, or you could tip it off of the plate into your hand, and you could stick it on the little shelf there. And then the buffet, of course, was behind it. And that was full of all the linens and some silver. And then the china cabinet was over here on the side. And it had all the teacups and some silver in it. It's amazing. It's just it's so amazing. Yeah, we used it every day. This was our everyday. And we also had a kitchen table, but that was being used for, like, if Nancy was in a bad mood when she came into the room, and they would say, my dad would say, "Are you in a bad mood? Well, if you're in a bad mood, you just go eat in the kitchen. Just go in there right now." Like if we were at the table and I would say something outrageous, because that's just the way I am, and he would blow up and send me to the kitchen. Go to your room, or go to the kitchen. You go eat in the kitchen. You just go. He had no patience for me. Zero. Really zero. Why is that? How is that possible? How is it possible? I was in trouble so often. I didn't listen. I didn't do what anybody else wanted me to do. I think I did what I wanted to do. I was scared of my parents. They could be very firm, forceful. You didn't cross your parents. You don't sass. You do not talk back. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. You don't say. You never be disrespectful or fresh. You don't ever. You just mind your manners, or you're going to be in your room. Well, that's all right. That's the way I was raised. Anyway, some of those lessons are good lessons. Like I was taught etiquette, and later after I left home, I came to Canada, and I would always been taught you never could hold your knife like this. You had to hold your knife properly, well, whatever properly was, but you couldn't hold anything with your fist. You had to hold it like a pencil. You pick up your fork, and you had to do your spoon away from you when you do your soup. And you have to sip it from the end, even though the tip is a lot easier. And I would rather get a teaspoon because my mouth is no bigger when I eat soup than when I eat ice cream. Really, I don't know if anyone else is, but I don't. Anyway, maybe they want to have bigger pieces, but then you get a bigger mouthful, and a teaspoon holds a whole mouthful anyway, and you don't ever open your mouth and put the whole soup spoon in. You're supposed to take it off the edge of the soup spoon. You're supposed to take it away and then. Anyway, so after I left and came back, I would refer to my dad and his manners thing as Lord Kenyon's School of Etiquette. I was raised in Lord Kenyon's School of Etiquette, so you don't put your elbows on the table. That is forbidden, verboten. He would say it that way too. Anyway, and then on Sundays, so this is kind of fun. So on Sundays, he would have the newspaper and we would have waffles. Oh, yeah, yeah, everything was, Mom had a will. So everything was willed from my dad to my mom, and from my mom, everything was divided equally amongst the three of us. And so when they died, nothing changed when my dad died, nothing at all. The house is identical. I came in and I moved things around, which really bothered my mom, and I can see why it would have bothered her because it's happened to me, and it really, really don't like it. But they're trying to be good. They're trying to be helpful. They see a better way. And it was what my mother went through, having me rearranging her house and taking things out of the rooms that made it too. Hey, Ian. Hey, I was thinking about your mom today. I was thinking about her. I was wondering. Yeah, I was just thinking about her. Anyway, so I was saying something. So we would sit at the table and we would have waffles on Saturday morning. Everybody got up late, and my mom was making, she'd make a different meal for everybody. My dad liked his eggs once over easy and with toast, and he'd like to dip his toast into his wet egg. My grandfather liked to have it in a soft boiled in one of those little cups, and he did it. I would always think he'd get eggshells in there, and that just gave me the heebie jeebies. So I didn't ever like that kind of eggs. And scooping it out of the shell, it makes that little sound and stuff. Oh yeah, yeah. I was being so helpful moving everything around for my mom, and I got her a different chair, and I thought, oh, this is much better chair. And she hated it, and she was horrified, and she cried, and the neighbor came over and comforted her, and I was thinking, this is a great chair. And later I realized it was a horrible chair, and look what I had done to her. How could I have done that to my mother? But I didn't know. But I didn't try to know. I just thought I was right. I was a pretty good idea, but her knees were not a problem. She didn't have any trouble standing up. Her back was a problem. And so this chair that I got didn't have the same kind of back support as the one that she had had before. The one from before is now here. It's that recliner out there somewhere. Anyway, it's blue. It's a glider. Anyway, I didn't know. But I was trying moving things around and trying to make it better. Why am I on that subject? Oh, that's why. So some of the stuff was organized because I had gone through things with her, and I'd brought her a drawer at a time and said, do you want to look through this and see if there's something in here that you want to keep? And so she would have to go through it and read every letter from top to bottom, and every bill, whatever was in the drawer. There'd be books and tape and markers and pens and rubber bands and pictures and envelopes and cards and books and clippings, newspaper clippings, photographs, address books, to-do lists, to-do notebooks, extra paper. Every one of these drawers had some combination of that. And there was tons and tons of drawers. They were in these little plastic cabinets. I kind of wanted to bring all those little plastic things, but they're plastic, and I don't really want plastic. But it's better to use it once the plastic exists. It's better to use it than to dispose of it. I mean, because then some other plastic is going to replace what that was, and so then you have two, one in the garbage, and the next thing you know, you have two in the garbage. I was thinking I should keep a running total of what I put in the garbage. You know, like I once gave a donation back. There used to be a time when we used to be asked if you would donate some money to the building of the temples. And back in the first temples, they had no money. And so the women who had carried their china pulled it on a handcart all the way from the east to Utah. And there they were in Utah, and they were asked for their china.